Hello, everybody. Today we're talking about Jack Harlow's new album. That's what they all say. So this album is clearly just a 10 out of 10. It's legendary. It's really, it's not. So first track, Rendezvous, it starts off pretty mundane. The first song is just kind of, whatever. Like, just talks about the fact that he's been he changed or whatever. Like it's basically like what every person says once they became big or something. Like it's nothing special. Like there's nothing here. It doesn't sound good. The first song, you're supposed to really bring in something to capture the listener and make them want to listen to your album, and that it doesn't do it. It's the first song on an album is pretty important. It's supposed to kind of set the tone for the album, and really, I guess it did set the tone well because it set the tone up to be a pretty mundane album. This next song starts off, "Face of My City." So, the hook, "Face of My City," co-signed by Diddy. Hard liquor, I'm shitty. Hotel with some biddy. Yeah, Jack Harlow's not the greatest lyricist, but from what's popping, I was expecting more than what I am getting here, and that's pretty sad. So now you have the first song, which doesn't really sound good and isn't like anything special, and then you have the second song, which is still nothing special, and it's just setting up for not a great album. Next was 21C Delta, which is so this song sound when you listen to it, it sounds like two not great unfinished songs put together to make one song that sounds like it should be two songs, but the two songs are unfinished, and it's kind of a mess. Like you want like it's supposed to because there was like a beat switch or whatever. It's supposed to like just change. What is it? It's supposed to feel like a change of song while staying in the same song, or you like still talk about the same topic or something to keep the two songs together. But he didn't really keep the two songs together. He didn't do what he was supposed to do. Funny seeing you here is when it starts to hit you with the fact that he's going to be talking about women a lot on here. Most of the record is women. It's just women or about this one woman. And the funny scene you hear kind of talks about how he's a trash partner and the fact that he's expecting to get back with this girl even though he was shitty, which doesn't really make a lot of sense once you once you like put it into perspective. So then this song didn't really, it wasn't great. It didn't sound all that great. It's nothing special. On the way out, it's a hit. Like that's all I'm expecting. Like it's the song was made for. The song was made to be a hit, and that's about it. Just a hit. Not nothing more. Already best friends hits you with the same old stuff, nothing really important, and then you hit keep it light, which it's all right. It's not anything special, but it's all right. And it's kind of a breath of fresh air because he was talking about women for two or three songs beforehand, so you like it's kind of like oh all right. So now he's talking about women. He's talking about something else, and it's kind of you know that's it though. It's just a breath of fresh air. There's nothing else to it. And then he hits you with songs like Creme. I'm gonna guess that's how you say it, because he said Creme in the thing or in the song. Same guy, Route 66. None of them special until the only song that you actually hear that makes a difference in what you're hearing or makes you actually want to listen is Tyler Herro. And no, not the Lil Wayne song. Tyler Herro? It's a hit. That's really all that it is. This whole album sounds like he was trying to make another hit. He wasn't telling any story. He didn't have great lyricism. It sounds like this whole album could have been picked by his label, because I would hope that it is, because it just kind of feels slapped together, and like it doesn't None of it really goes together. The only time it goes together is because it talks about women, and that's about it. Other than that, there's only a few songs on here that are good because of the was it hits. Sorry, it took me so long to get that, but the hits are the only thing that stands out on this album, and that's all that Tyler Harrow is. It's just another probably hit. It's just going for that same style. Love Is Dro comes up and just talks more about women, which we didn't really need. I thought that once he did Tyler Harrow, the last part of the album was going to be just anything else. All the rest of it, like he was going to have all the woman part in like the middle, and then at the very end, he's going to switch it up and start doing hits or whatever. And then he hits you with Love Is Dro, and that is it didn't need to be there. Then What's Poppin' comes in, not for a reason. Like it didn't fit into the story or anything. It's just kind of there. Well, like I said, there isn't any story. But What's Poppin' is there, just kind of there. It's just probably thrown in this album because it was the hit like the hit that he had. And Baxter Avenue came up, and it's not bad. It's actually talked about something. It talked about something that changed. What is it? If it changed like what he was talking about, if this was more what the album was like, it probably would have been better than it actually was. But it's not. He didn't. This isn't the kind of songs that he had on the whole album. It was mostly repetitive. A lot of it didn't really sound great, formulaic a bit. And this is a good song, but it feels like this is something that he should have ended off on, and not having this song and then the What's Poppin' remix afterwards. He should have just had this song and then just ended it. Honestly, Jack Harlow, kind of, this album feels like a really, like kind of a Walmart discount version of ASAP Rocky. Like not his flow or what he sounds, but the album. Like he sounds like he was trying to go for a hit style where he could make a lot of hits like ASAP Rocky did. Like he was where ASAP Rocky on his first album had like fucking problems and was it Gold or whatever that song was called. And he had like hits on that album, and it was more of that kind of style. It feels like he's going for that style, but it kind of failed. Not kind of, it failed. And when I was listening to his voice, like his voice sounds a lot like Mac Miller, honestly. Like not that it's a bad thing. It just sounds a lot like Mac Miller, but with the style that he's rapping, he sounds like a jock, like a cool like a jock. That's right, really like not a jock that beats up, like not a bully, but he sounds like just a regular or what is like regular popular jock. That's kind of what he sounds like with Mac Miller's voice, less of Mac Miller's what is it? His it was kind of stumble over words kind of talking. Honestly, this album it's not great. There's nothing really here. I wouldn't go back to it honestly. By the is it I started going into this album, and it was like, oh, What's Poppin', he had some what is it lyrics on there, let me like pay attention to the lyrics. And then by halfway through the album I realized that there was no reason to pay attention to the lyrics because he wasn't saying anything. He went for a hit style, didn't come up with like great, it's not all hits, nothing, so it just kind of failed at what it was trying to do. So I give this album a 5. it, it's not great. Don't waste your time.